G'day mates, in today's video we're going to kick off talking about Mr. Fresh Asian returning to Fortnite. I also want to talk about whatever it is that happened in the PlayStation finals today. We had winners being disqualified, we had people leaving their orgs because they lost spawn fights, we had a whole bunch of squads teaming. Yes, it was a solos event, but we had entire squads playing in these tournaments. It was ridiculous. I'm going to cover all of it. Let's jump straight into it. Just quickly, before we jump into the rest of today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Synced Off Planet. It is an online free-to-play third-person shooter that you can play either solo or with up to 3 friends. It is a PvPvE game that you can download on Steam or the Epic Game Store, like I said, for free. The game has 2 distinct modes, the Dead Sector runs, which is the PvE campaign version of the game, or you have the Nerva runs, which is my personal favorite, the PvP version of the game. You have a choice from a number of different heroes that have unique abilities and different passives to benefit your specific playstyle. The unique part about Synced as a game is you have 4 different nanos that you can sync once you take them down in the game. They have different benefits just like your hero, that when you combine the 2, you can really fit your playstyle. No, the title and thumbnail is not clickbait. We have the fresh Mr. Fresh Asian returning to Fortnite. Not just that, it looks like he's returning to competitive Fortnite. He tweeted out yesterday that he is looking for a duo. Now, that could be for another game. That could just be to film videos, but it would be a very, very strange tweet. Fresh isn't going to tweet out looking for duo if it's not to do with Fortnite, and he's got no reason to bait people into thinking he's coming back. He's only uploaded, I think, 4 or 5 times in the last year and a half since he mostly stepped away. All those videos have gotten millions of views and people are making those jokes. He's coming back for his paycheck. Oh, the money must have ran out. But I really think from Fresh's content and a lot of the investments he got into towards the end, he's set. He's coming back because he wants to. And the fact that he's looking for a duo to, I'm guessing, compete gives me a lot of hope. That would be extremely exciting to see. In my opinion, the peak of competitive Fortnite watching, again, obviously I'm biased, was OCE. Back in the day when you had Fresh playing, you had Twins, you had Jinx winning every FNCS on stream, Volks playing. It was just such a different time for watching competitive. I'm not going to say it was the most competitive, but it was the most entertaining, and I would argue that against anyone. Now, it looks like Fresh doesn't have a shortage of options of who to play with. He has pretty much every big name in OCE. Some people even outside of OCE replying saying they want to run up competitive with him. I think a lot of people wanted to see Fresh and Oatly. Obviously, Oatly, a lot of people compared to Fresh, saying he's, been filling the shoes of Fresh since he stepped away. As someone who streams all the tournaments, competes at a really high level, but kind of gives it more of a content creator vibe. I mean, Oatly was one placement off making it to Copenhagen. He would have been going to the $4 million land. So honestly, it'd be really interesting to see that duo, but Oatly replied with no real intent. He's playing with Daneth. They're looking incredibly strong right now as a duo. We did have Luda respond to this one. If you guys don't know, Luda, multiple-time FNCS winner, an ex-partner of playing with Fresh, has basically retired from competitive Fortnite recently. It wasn't a permanent retirement, but basically said he's not really enjoying the game anymore. He's stepping away until it gets fun again, and he has also replied under this. So we could see duos such as Fresh and Luda. We haven't gained anything else since this. I'm very, very excited to see what this means for Fresh. I really hope this wasn't just clickbait or he wasn't serious about it. I really do think we are getting the full proper return of Fresh. There's a lot to cover with the PlayStation Cups. I haven't talked about them too much in the past because they are just always such a gigantic mess. If you don't know, once a season, it used to be once a month, Sony now runs PlayStation only tournaments. You have to be on a PlayStation to compete, and they haven't had the best history of competitive integrity. They run solo events and everyone always wonders why. It's because obviously Sony just wants as many people playing in these tournaments as possible. I'm guessing their main metric for success is just player base. That's why they make them solos, despite the fact they know they're going to be ran terribly. Now, you're probably wondering, why do PlayStation always get these tournaments? It's because Sony have actually invested over $1 billion into Epic Games. They are part owners of Epic Games, so it's them directly putting these on, and I think Fortnite or Epic just kind of have to deal with the repercussions. So let's kick off with the NA winner being disqualified. We had Cozy winning it all. He had 103 points, just beating out Silic. He tweeted out, and then he replied to his own tweet winning about how he had been suspended for 14 days plays for teaming. Now, teaming is very, very common in these PlayStation Cups. If you've watched them, they are insane. I tried to watch one of them yesterday. I watched the no builds on NA, and it was literally an entire squad claiming Slappy and rotating out together. They're literally just sitting in bushes 2 feet apart, not shooting each other. It is ridiculous. And I think at this point it's basically gone to the point where everyone's mentality seems to be, I may as well just team. Everyone's gonna team anyway. I'm not gonna win unless I do team, and if I win, I might get away with it, or I might get banned. And I know that sounds insane that that's the mentality, but that's what it's gotten to at this point, because we have had winners and multiple teams in the past do really well teaming and get away with it. So at least it looks like Epic is actioning some of them, but also looks like Epic is not actioning all of them. We had a whole bunch of drama over on EU as well. Akira and Skyjump, who again had issues in the past. Akira has had one of his wins taken away in these tournaments before because of teaming. ReeseHub made some content on it, got a lot of traction. It looks like once you investigated, Akira and Skyjump were teaming. And since then, it looks like Akira and Skyjump have kind of turned a leaf. They went on to do really, really well on console, on PC. They were the console duo I was hyping up for doing insanely well, making EU finals, making grand finals, FNCS doing insanely well. Looks like there was a bit of drama again on EU between them and Pixovsky as well. Pixovsky, another very, very well-known name within the console community, phenomenal player. We had Pixovsky actually win a 1v2 against these two players. They took down Akira and Skyjump, which now seems to have led to some kind of fallout or some kind of beef, which led to Akira leaving his org, because all three of them are signed to the same org. They are all represented under Reality Zoned. It's honestly what I've seen, a fantastic org. I love what they were doing. They did like a boot camp watch party a little while ago for a console cup, and I was super impressed. It seems like they're doing really cool things for it, but for whatever reason, Akira has now left after today's tournament. I don't know if it's anything to do with the handling of that situation. There's probably more to this story, but from the outside looking in and from asking everyone I could within the console community, it looks like he left because of whatever beef that caused, which is just insane to me. I probably should make it clear there was a no build and a build PlayStation Cup. They were both completely separate. You could play both of them, but they were region locked. Once you played one, you could only play in that one on that region, but you could play in the other on another region, which led to a lot of different ults, a lot of people winning them on multiple accounts. It was looking ridiculous. Pixovsky ended up going on to win the EU build PlayStation finals, and in his celebratory tweet, he even called out Akira and Skyjump, because in game number 6, Akira managed to hunt him down, find him, take him down, and then danced on him. A lot of people thought Pixovsky would lose, though. He didn't have enough of a lead, but he managed to hold on, winning out the tournament by 5 points, and it was just ridiculous to watch all this breakdown in real time. It wasn't all just about the PlayStation Cup. We also had the regular Duo Cash Cup finals. We had Trulex and Chicho taking it home on EU with an insane performance, 433 points. They had a 1 elim 5th, 5 elim 8th, 10 elim 1st, 7 elim 2nd, 2 elim 2nd, and 6 elim 3rd. They had an average placement of 3.5. We're getting an average elims of 5.17. Just an insane performance for this duo. They beat out Malibu and Thomas, who still had a really solid performance on 349, Vortex and Belusi in 3rd on 284, and then we had Queasy and Veno in 4th. Now, obviously, coming into Copenhagen, we're missing a lot of our big duos on these leaderboards. A lot of people keep asking me, Aussie, what's going on? Why are none of them practicing? Why are none of them taken seriously? So many of them are playing with different duos, and honestly, I don't know what to tell you. We are going into the biggest event since World Cup, and yes, scrims are in shambles. Maybe the pros don't like the meta that much, but the Duo Cash Cup is the one chance a week to practice for that tournament, and it seems like no one's taking it seriously. So I don't really know what's going on at the moment. One team that is still taking it seriously is we have Dukes and Edgy winning it out on NA on 363 points. We had Barker and Paz. I think they are one of the most underrated teams going into Copenhagen in 2nd on 331. Rokane and Pump looking really solid, and a big team, Clix and Epic Whale in 4th. Now, they actually had a chance to win the tournament. They were going into the last game looking really, really good, and unfortunately, they got a 0 elim 25th. It was one of their worst games of the tournament, but still a very strong performance for this duo heading into Copenhagen.